Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 357 of podcast. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing decently well today. I am really decently well today. Um, it's getting cooler here in New York. Hoodies are coming out. I actually have the air conditioner on. I just legitimately got out of the shower. So my pores are still open. So I wanted to not get sick, but I'm going through menopause. So this instantly is going to come off if I get heated. So I'm enjoying the hoodie, but it could come off at any second. So I'm doing pretty well. Had lots going on the past couple of weeks. A little heartache, a little how can I explain this? When you're in a relationship and you are at the brink of your exhaustion and your partner doesn't want to fucking goddamn pick up a hint, um you're kind of done, and I had an issue with my kid and he was going back to school. So it was like, it was all wrapped up into one, but I'm a lot better than I was a week ago. And I'm a lot happier and whatnot. And it's really nice when you communicate with your partner and you're able to communicate anything you need to, and you can get through pretty much anything. But the thing is that he's got to start picking up fucking hints and my facial expressions and stuff like that. But doing well, crazy busy, but what else is new with me? But everything is okie dokie. It's, levels off, and hopefully nothing else comes up, you know. I got some news in my private life. I have a friend of mine that's becoming a grandmother. That makes me old. Okay. I'm 42 years old. I'm in the grandmother stage in my life now. So, yeah, like all the kids that we've had and everything like that are now getting to the point that they're going to start having theirs. And I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy that I'm in that category now. My grandparents became grandparents in their late 30s. My parents became in their early 40s. So it's like history repeats itself. So I have a friend of mine that is her daughter is now a mom, and now we're in the grandparent stage, and it's just the circle of life. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm pretty happy for her and everything. Even though I can't have grandkids of my own, I'm just happy with friends of mine are becoming grandparents. And so in the legality or technicality here, I could be a pseudo grandmother. I could be a pseudo, because all of my friends' kids also call me mom. So it's like, all right, I have like adopted grandchildren. So it's like awesome and everything. Um, so I'm happy about that. I can't release the name, but the baby's here and whatnot. But I want to congratulate them and whatnot, and I'm happy about that. So my son is now 19. My son is now 19 years old, meaning that this time next year I will have a child, an adult grown child in his 20s. Where the hell did that go? Seriously, it's crazy. I'm 42 years old, and I didn't think that this was ever going to be happening this quickly. And I love my son, and he could be a pain in the ass sometimes. And I don't care if he's got autism or not. He still is going to get treated like any other 19-year-old little twit. But I love him to death, and I'm so proud of him. And I'm not proud of him what he's been doing, but I'm proud of him that, he's come a long way. And now it's just the countdown. Last year in his teens. This is crazy. I remember when I was 19, and now my son is going to be, going through that transition himself. And it's scary, and I'm doing this legitimately on my own. I just wish my mother was here, and that was the person who, should have been here on the 7th when my kid's birthday was, and she wasn't. And but she's watching from above, and she's better off where she is. And it's a little heartbreaking, but It is what it is. But we've got lots to do today. We've got lots to do today. So today is a day of just getting through this, and we have a full review rundown show here today. We have Collision, Rampage, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Raw. SmackDown this week will be the first time back on USA. Raw will be eventually 2 hours, which it'll help me get me out of here maybe an hour, about 45 minutes earlier. And I'm hoping that Rampage gets canceled, because that means another hour that I don't have to, watch another round of wrestling. But I want to make this abundantly clear before we keep going here. I never want AEW to fail. Never want it to fail. I need the management to change. Just like I said with WWE, I never wanted WWE to fail. I wanted to change. AEW has it right now that Tony Khan can say, you know what, I'm not going to work this hard. I'm not going to work this hard. I'm going to basically do what I know I can do great. Run the day-to-day operations of the Jaguars, AEW, the whatnot. Let me be based in Jacksonville. I don't have to leave. It'll save myself a lot of heartache and a lot of stress. Hire somebody to do booking, like a Triple H. Triple H, find yourself your Triple H. You had it. You fucking had it in Cody Rhodes, but you decide to go and deal with Matt and Nick Jackson. Now, I'm not going to tell you who to keep or who not to keep, but, common denominator, you're going to want to get rid of the people who are not making you successful. Now, as far as I'm concerned with the TV deal, I never wanted them to pull them off. I wanted them to be pulled off to kind of like a suspension, like, hey, we're going to put you on hiatus until you revamp things, and we're not going to tolerate what we see. Have a relaunch and the whole shadoo, and we're off to the races. I have an autistic kid, and I will always call him an autistic kid, due to the fact is that he does bad behaviors, all right? So when you do bad behaviors or you do mistakes, you have to get reprimanded, right? You have to pay the consequences. Tony Khan needs to learn consequences of his actions and his decisions with his company. I'm going to reiterate, I don't condone what had happened on September 7th. Because guess what? I don't remember one fucking thing of happened. What are the matches, whatever. Those 3 things that fucking happened. And I am not going to even count Chris Statlander's with the tax. We've seen Britt Baker, and that was far worse than what that we see. So I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay is committing pretty much attempted murder on screen, chair shot to the head, and a hypodermic needle in somebody's cheek. Sorry, I'm not gonna keep fucking goddamn condoning that. Sorry, I'm 42 years old. I've evolved, I've matured, and I've went through life experiences. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I know somebody very intimately. He is a referee for independent wrestling. And I'm not going to fucking keep reiterating this. This is the last fucking time I'm going to tell you this. You cannot gimmick a chair. He's been hit with it numerous times. You cannot gimmick a chair. That chair is a legit chair that you can find at Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, wherever you find your metal chair. You can, and that's a legit chair. So for the people who are jerking off to a chair shot, go to Swerve in fucking 15 years. He's going to say, oh, I don't remember getting a chair shot in the middle of a fucking ring during your lights out match in AEW. I don't remember my kid's name or my grandkid's name. So it's not their problem. It's their problem because you guys fucking want it. And that's selfish. You guys are the problem, not them. Plastic bag was not fucking necessary. Hypodermic needle wasn't necessary. Nothing like that was necessary. Now we got a cage match coming up in literally 2 weeks. If they have anything like that, I'm going to be pissed. It's not necessary. They're going to get violent. I know what I'm getting into with that. But I know for a fact that fucking Triple H is not going to allow a fucking hypodermic needle nor a fucking goddamn chair shot to either one of Punk or Drew McIntyre's head. And that's where the difference is. Absolutely. Straight up wrestling show. Absolutely. Dusty, I will accept. You took. Oh my God, yes. For fuck's sakes, you got Dusty motherfucking Rhodes. Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris. How you doing, sweetheart? Absolutely. You have Dusty motherfucking Rhodes. You have basically Cody Rhodes and Dusty Rhodes combined. You got the fucking best of both fucking worlds. Give him, he's Triple H. He's your Triple H, and you don't fucking know it. Absolutely. I 1,000% agree with you. Tony Schiavone, no. But definitely Dusty Rhodes, 100% agree with you. But I don't condone this. Now, you guys could do whatever the fuck you want, honestly. Oh, hey, Harry. Harry, do me a favor. I got that proposal. Do me a favor. Look me up on X, and we'll start setting something up because I want to fulfill my promise. Okay? Or get my cell number from Chris, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you got that. Thanks. So, thanks. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to do it. I'm actually excited. I've been thinking about it lately. Trust me, I've just been so fucking busy. I have a fucking personal life and other professional life other than this, and it's crazy. I'm busy all the time. Sorry. So, yeah. I don't condone all of this. It's going to what is it going to what else are we going to see on pay-per-view? Honestly, what is the next step? Are we going to see a pew-pew? Are we going to see a knife getting jabbed into somebody's skin? Are we going to see like this shit? I'm not paying $50 to see something like that. Meanwhile, I could go and put it on any streaming service and watch a fucking Netflix for the price that I'm paying for the streaming service. I'm not paying $50 extra to see somebody almost get murdered. Sorry, I don't downshift like that. Even tasers. I've seen tasers back in the day. I come from a fucking generation of fucking goddamn the Attitude Era, the fucking ECW and shit like that. I've seen it. I don't want to see it again. I want to see pure wrestling. When I watch New Japan, when I watch Wrestle Kingdom, I've been watching it for the past 5 years. I know what I'm getting. If they're going to do any sort of street fight, death match, whatever, and I know what I'm going to expect. But when I tune into Wrestle Kingdom, I know I am watching wrestling. I know what I'm getting. I want to see wrestling. You can't do that and base your fucking goddamn talent off of that, and you have to rely on fucking shit like that, then you're not a wrestler. You're a bona fide stuntman. That's my piece on that. But I don't want AEW to go nowhere. There's nothing on a Wednesday night. Please, help a sister out here. I need to have something to watch on a Wednesday night, especially when my man isn't here. I need to have something to do, I rely on that shit, and with the moves of CW and everything like that, it's going to get really interesting. It's going to get really interesting, and I'm just hoping that when Tony Khan does get his TV rights deal, that he doesn't keep in this motion of booking his shows, because I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to Grand Slam Wednesday. All right, I'm going to Grand Slam Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you how I got tickets. I'm not going to tell you how I got anything. I'm very well connected, okay? I go from over 20,000 seats to now 6,000. I feel like I'm going to see an independent show or possibly a TNA. Why are we doing this, Tony? Why? You've got to start thinking that you don't have to bring your fucking company public, but start treating it like it's public. Pretend that you have to answer to sponsors and this, that, and the other thing. You're not getting the sponsors that you want. You're not getting it at all. And I can guarantee you, when you are fucking goddamn bitching and complaining when fucking WWE takes over Wembley Stadium for WrestleMania and blows your fucking 81 fucking thousand attendance out of the water, and on top of it all, then you're complaining that, oh, they're doing that. They want them there. When you're complaining, oh, why are they getting the opportunity to do maybe a Royal Rumble or something in the Sphere? Because they can afford it. Because they are making money. They are making profits. They're not relying on daddy's bank account. I'm telling you, if your father said, I'm cutting you off, you are screwed. You are screwed. You're going to have to think that you don't have your father. You can't even get your fucking football company or team across the pond on our winning ways. Jacksonville Jaguars are fucking not on their winning ways. You couldn't even fucking have the balls enough to fucking say, you know what, before this goes under renovation, the stadium, let me see if I can sell this motherfucker out with a stadium show for my company AEW and put myself on the map. No, you had to go to a fucking goddamn another state, the Texas Rangers, where in the shadows was the AT&T Stadium. Do you understand? Fucking your workers are looking at that fucking stadium and saying, why aren't we there? WWE can do it. We're better than WWE. Remember, we're the best wrestle. Why can't we go there? Because you would look like morons going in there. You wouldn't barely fucking fill the goddamn field. WWE tomorrow announces we're going to put WrestleMania 45 there. Guess what? It's sold out. 2 nights. I'm going to use this as an example. Fucking Saturday night's main event was announced. Pre-sale was yesterday. Almost sold out. What's wrong with this picture? I don't know anymore. I am sick and tired of the fucking excuses for Tony Khan. I gave fucking goddamn Vince McMahon hell back in the day. I will give Triple H hell when it comes and I need to. But right now, I'm just seeing how things play out. Triple H is still kind of sort of new at this. He's only been there for 2 fucking years. He's worse than I am, and I'm fucking hard-headed, and I'm a fucking New Yorker. He's hard-headed, he's stubborn, and he thinks he knows it all. Clearly, he doesn't. There's no more excuses. I am going to give my criticisms and my fucking opinions about this fucking great sport that I love to pieces. My grandfather, at the age of 3 months old, put me on his fucking knee and had me watch WWF Superstars and WWF Challenge on at noon on here in New York on Fox 5. I've been watching ever since. I've been through it all. I've been through it fucking goddamn through the crappy times with the women's division back in the 80s and the early 90s. I've been through it all. I've been through the sex. I've been through the divas. I've been through everything. I've been through the fucking goddamn cartoon characters. I've been through the fucking trash mans, the repo mans, everything else in between. I deserve to be not treated like a child. I need stories. I need fucking goddamn substance. I don't need to be thrown, for Christ's sakes. I'm going to see fucking Will Ospreay versus Ricochet this coming Wednesday. I am not excited about this. So we're going to have to fucking base this whole situation off with tweets that when Ricochet was in WWE and Will Ospreay was in New Japan. Who the fuck remembers that? Only us wrestling freaks. Are we going to get reminded of that? Probably not. It's just a match, just a jerk fucking, I was about to say Vince McMahon off, a fucking Tony Khan off. I always use the fucking term, that's, who knows when that's going to be. They got fucking places to burn here, you know? I was just about to say Vince McMahon. Remember the terminology when he got an erection and he threw his $5,000 suit? Vince McMahon when he was in the fucking gorilla's position. That's exactly what fucking Tony Khan is doing now. I'm sorry if you guys don't like the way I criticize AEW. I want it to be better. I want to be able to sit down on a Wednesday night and be not belittled. I feel like I'm being treated as a child. Half the time I'm watching the match, I'm zoned out. Because why are we having this match? Something's got to change. Honestly, just to get fucking Tony to get a fire underneath his ass, I would have loved to have that deal not go through. Where he would have had to work and go out and say, hey, I couldn't get the deal on Warner Brothers Discovery. Let me go someplace else. And he has to sell that. And then he's going to fucking learn to say, you know what? I have to do better. I have to do better. He cannot be relying on people that really don't know. Fucking Matt Nick Jackson could fucking say, oh yeah, we know how to book a show. We know how to do this, that. All fine and good. But will it make sense? Most likely not. And you can't be booking for yourself. You can't be See, Triple H doesn't book for himself. He books for us. And he has told us numerous times that he watches the social media. We're getting everything we want. That's the difference. So again, I'm going to reiterate. I never want AEW to go anywhere. I just need Tony Khan to get his ass kicked in, you know? Push his shit in a little bit. You know he hates when he fucking gets his shit pushed in. He doesn't take that. He's a fucking baby. I'm older than him. He acts like more like younger than my son. And my son is 19 years old. On to that, I'm going to bring up two tag teams. I'm going to bring up the Motor City Machine Guns and the Lucha Brothers. For all the fucking people that were fans of those two that were in TNA and AEW, and now all of a sudden, because they have reportedly signed with WWE, you are abandoning them. Okay, now I know. Now I know you all through. You are not a wrestling fan. You are an AEW cultist. Because you don't want them to succeed only in AEW. And when they go and since WWE is very vastly different, it's a lot easier on their bodies and everything. So you get to see them more, but they're not putting themselves through hell. And that's all for you because they love you. They love their fans. They want to be able to be on TV as much as possible. But if they're in AEW, they're not going to. So who's selfish in this situation, AEW or WWE? And if you're not liking the people that haven't been on TV for ages, it's because those were Vince McMahon boys. Alone, Zero Miedo is going to fucking ring out in every fucking arena. When they go to San Francisco, guess who's good friends with fucking Bailey? George Kittle. George Kittle does Zero Miedo. You don't think I know this? I watch football. My Jets fucking won and wiped the floor with the Patriots last night. I'm thrilled, all right? They're going to make money. And they're not going to have to fucking beat their asses for it. Don't you think after a certain amount of years, I've been working since I'm 13, 14 years old. I'm 42 years old now. I want to be able to not work as hard, but still get paid plenty of money. I think I deserve that. I've worked my ass off all these years. I haven't worked a weekend in fucking 10 years. That's what you do. You got these fucking people that are fucking from the old garb that are fucking still working because they can't fucking balance their checkbooks. In this day and age, you make as much as you possibly can, doing the very little that you can. But if you have to do more, you do more. WWE is willing to pay out the money. You get to see them probably more on TV. What's the problem? Oh, because they're not with the Bucks. They're not with FTR. They're not with Outrunners or the Acclaim or whatever other tag team are over in AEW. What are you going to put them in Ring of Honor? Ring of Honor is a dead brand. I feel bad for Athena. Athena belongs what's going on with fucking goddamn in WWE right now. I just feel so, even fucking NXT, bring her back to NXT. Julia versus Athena or Ember Moon, take my money. Ember Moon versus fucking goddamn Stephanie Valcour, take my money. You're not going to tell me that she is anywhere happy of being in that situation. You have to pay to see her. You have to pay $10 a month on Ring of Honor card, on Super Honor, whatever, Honor Club. Sorry, I can't do that. They have the opportunity to take ROH and make it their NXT, and they refuse to do so. And then they have Sammy Guevara as either the tag team champion or the 6-man tag team champion with Dustin Rhodes. Sorry. What a consolation. He was with fucking Jericho 3 years ago. I don't understand this, and I never will understand this. Tony Khan has everything that he can fucking legitimately push the screws to Triple H, but he's refusing to do so. Because he is listening to fucking Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada. And we're going to throw Mercedes in there. Mercedes is a failure. Mercedes is a failure in AEW. And you're not going to tell me otherwise. She's not getting anybody over. She's actually making women worse. And poor Britt Baker probably wants to be out of there as quickly as she can. Speaking of Britt Baker, I want to send out my condolences to her and Adam Cole. They reportedly have broken up. We send them their best. Hopefully that they will, whoever they will be with in the future, they will be happy and whatnot. And this also factors into a lot of shit now. They break up. Britt's on the outs with the so-called elite. Who's best friends with Adam Cole? Nick Jackson. Ain't that a fucking kick in the head? She fucking is the first woman to sign with AEW, and then she gets this bullshit. Maybe she should have not listened to other people and signed with WWE, and her and Adam could have been still a happy married couple. Because I'm not going to fucking say this to you. I think somehow, honestly, I think that was the reason why that Adam didn't want to. He was always constantly with her. Why get married, you know? So, but again, I don't want AEW to leave. I just want Tony Khan to get his ass kicked in a little bit. Not physically, you know what I mean. I want him to basically get a fire underneath his ass. Because I'm telling you, this keeps going, ain't going to be working at all. That was my rant for 34 minutes. I'm so sorry, but once I get going, I can't stop. Please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video or do a short, you will know about it. Please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Cameo. I'm on X, Twitter. I'm also on That's Old Mel's Mat Chat. If you want to follow me all on my other social media, that's on another handle. It's Real Mel's Mat Chat. I'm on OnlyFans and Snapchat, so go follow me all there. Of course, you know that Bad Blood's coming up. I will be covering that. Preview and predictions will be right after Friday Night SmackDown on the right after the Go Home show. So that is that. I will be going live legitimately right after Bad Blood, and then I'm going to have a great rest of the weekend, especially the way the card is coming up. Please, that is a fucking takeover worthy fucking card. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm as time goes on, I'm getting more and more excited about wrestling. I haven't been this excited since I'm like in my mid-teens. And I'm 42 years old now. I've never been this crazy busy with wrestling. And I love every minute of it. And I even say to myself, I joke with myself. I keep saying when I was like 12 years old, I wish there was a channel that they would have for 24 hours of wrestling. We got it in the 24/7 channel on our cable. Now we have the Peacock now. The evolution of the network. And I can't see myself without it. It's brought me pleasure and joy. I got to go back and watch. I'm going to kid you not, I never really go back and watch WrestleManias. I went back and watched WrestleMania 40 Night 2 at least a good 20 times because it was so good. And I still watch it. I put it on in the background. I loved Punk. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm really so excited that Punk's back in WWE. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about stuff that is finally, we are, as a wrestling community, are rejoicing in. Wrestling is alive and well. Let's all do this and let's all love it and stop the fighting and stop the tribalism. And for people say that I'm a tribalist, that I only love WWE, motherfucker, I've spent money with AEW. I have hoodies, I have shirts, I have paraphernalia. I support both companies. I'm not honestly, now with the times, with how much everything is, they're too expensive. AEW. I wish they would do something to alleviate the pain. Because whenever I get T-shirts from WWE, I get the 5X because obviously I got big boobs, and if it goes on, I am not gonna freaking be like suffocated. I can't help it. I need a 5X, and I wear those shirts to bed. I wear them as nightgowns. I go get an AEW t-shirt, they're marking it up to almost like $60 for a t-shirt. Meanwhile, I could spend $40 and get the same t-shirt, and I could go up as high as I want. Stop with the fucking price increase for the sizes. That's discrimination for people that like me. I'm sorry, I can't help this. I have a big chest. I am not going to squash my boobs. I'm sorry, not going to happen. This is even. By the way, thank you to Jessie the Buckeye. I picked up her T-shirt long ago. She's doing. Hopefully she's doing much better. Her health is declining, and please follow her on X, which is Jessie the Buckeye. Whenever I get to wear this, I always like to shout her out. Please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website for all your beard essentials. Please do me a favor. If you are fighting with your thirst and you want to murder it because you're dying of thirst, do yourself a favor. Go check out. Please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. They're coming out with some cool ass shit on there. They have salsa water, flavored salsa water, regular spring water, iced tea. I'm hoping that they come out with lemonade. I will be buying that by the caseload. Please do me a favor, go check that out at liquiddeath.com. Also, if you're a coffee aficionado and you want to sample the world's strongest caffeinated coffee with the lowest acidic rate, go check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Pumpkin season's up. Go check that out. Pumpkin season is up, and I got to get my pumpkin coffee. I got to load my house up. I got to get my coffee. I got to get my pumpkin coffee in the house. I have the pumpkin dusting. I just don't have the actual coffee, and I need it in my life, people. So go check it out at deathwishcoffee.com. If you want to get into even more wrestling, I got another promotion for you. House of Glory. House of Glory is doing some big motherfucking things over there, and I am so excited to be a part of it. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get paid by them. I'm just a person that likes to sing their praises on here. I am going to try to see if I can get maybe Jason Solomons or even JD from New York. I would like to actually cover their shows on here and do like they do on Thriller app. I would like to sit, watch it, take the notes and everything like that, and then report it as their own show on like Saturdays or Fridays or whenever. Like I could do it on that weekend and then make it a House of Glory review show and everything. But I don't want to overstep my bounds. I'm just promoting the promotion. So on September 29th, do you believe in him? Because I believe in the glory of Joe Hendry. Yes, say his name and he will appear, and he will be appearing on September 29th at Believe in Glory. Joe Hendry will be taking on Joey Janela for the HOG Cruiserweight Championship. Fuego del Sol is going to be there. He's going to be taking on Gringo Loco. House of Glory Crown Jewel Champion, member of the Bloodline, Zilla Fatu versus Idris Jackson, CBK versus Miracle Generation, and more. So go get your tickets at hogwrestling.net. Also, October 18th, you want to see a legend, a former MLW World Heavyweight Champion, Masato Tanaka, and ECW legend. He's going to be taking on, for the title, the World Heavyweight Champion, Mike Santana. Also, TNA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Nemeth is making his House of Glory debut. So if you want to get your tickets for that one, it's going to go quick. Go to hogwrestling.net. And if you can't be there in person for those 2 dates, go check out it on the Thriller app. Download it. Get yourself the Thriller Plus. And you're going to be watching it. And it pays it off for the first fucking show. So that is that. I cannot believe I just went almost an hour just doing that. I'm rolling today. It's the caffeine. It's the rest. It's the, getting myself right lately. So we are going to start off with WWE, and then we're going to go then we're going to go to AEW, because we're basically now in mode of building for Bad Blood, and that is it. So SmackDown from last week. So this gets you ready for tonight, which will probably be just about done before you go to USA Network at this point. But it is what it is, So SmackDown. This was the first SmackDown coming from Fox. This was coming off from Fox. It's now on USA Network. So the show opens with a new intro music, and it was horrible. Not my cup of tea. Your commentators for the night are Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Triple H steps out and heads towards the ring. He reflects, "It feels like just yesterday I was facing The Rock here. Now, 25 years on, there is no place I'd rather be than here in Seattle with a packed house." What a better way to kick things off than an undisputed championship match. Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes in a steel cage match. And I loved how they started this off really, really fucking hot. So hot. Because Roman Reigns has now made it a thing in WWE. If I'm not opening, I am closing. There's no in between here. So at the start of the match, Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa circled each other cautiously, both sizing up their opponent, aware of the high stakes inside the steel cage. The tensions in the air builds as the crowd anticipates the first move. Cody Rhodes starts with strong punches and a drop-down uppercut, but Solo hits back with an elbow. Solo tries to throw Cody into the cage, but Cody blocks it. After a punch, Solo whips Cody into the corner and charges in it, but Cody dodges and hits a bulldog. Solo quickly gets up, but Cody throws him into the cage and into the cage multiple times. Solo counters by backdropping Cody into the cage and follows up with a big splash against it, leaving Cody slumped on the apron. Solo charges back with a running hip attack, smashing Cody into the steel again. Cody fights back with the punches, but Solo lands a headbutt and places Cody in the tree of woe before hitting a kick and a diving headbutt. Solo goes for another headbutt, but Cody pulls himself up and climbs the cage. Solo pulls him down, and Cody, now bleeding, takes more kicks and slams into the cage. Cody fights back, but Solo overpowers him, throwing him into the cage again and hitting headbutts. Solo taunts by rubbing Cody's blood on his chest before catching Cody's beautiful disaster kick and powerbombing him into the cage twice. Cody grabs the cage and starts climbing. He kicks Solo away and leaps off the cage with a Cody cutter for a near fall. Cody attempts to climb out of the cage again, but Solo grabs him just as he's about to reach the top. Solo pulls Cody down and lands a headbutt. Solo then climbs the cage, but Cody stops him, and they both make their way to the top. Cody, sitting on the top of the cage, sends Solo crashing into it. Cody almost makes it over the side, but Solo grabs him and hits a massive super muscle buster, leaving both men down on the mat. Solo covers for a near fall. Somewhere, Samoa Joe is fucking pissed. Seeing that, probably. Solo calls for the cage door to be open, but Cody grabs Solo's leg, preventing him from escaping. Cody slaps Solo, but Solo responds with a brutal Uranagi, followed by a second one for another near fall. Cody climbs the cage again, but just as he's about to reach the top, Solo grabs him and pulls him back down, delivering a headbutt. Solo starts climbing the cage, but Cody stops him, and both men end up at the top. Cody, sitting on the top of on the edge, slams Solo into the cage and almost makes it over to the side. However, Solo grabs him and delivers a devastating super muscle buster, leaving both men down on the mat. Solo recovers Cody for a near fall. Solo calls for the door to be open, but Cody grabs his leg, preventing him from escaping. Cody slaps Solo, but Solo responds with a Uranagi, then hits a second one for another near fall. Solo prepares for the Samoan spike, looking at his thumb, but it takes too long. He takes too long. Cody counters with a punches, followed by a flying forearm and a beautiful disaster kick. Cody hits a Cody cutter, but Solo kicks out at the last second. Cody sets up for a crossroads, but Solo counters, sending him into the turnbuckles. Solo follows up with a shoulder thrust and a running hip attack in the corner. He then hits a Samoan drop and climbs the turnbuckles, delivering a frog splash for a close near fall. Cody crawls into the corner as Solo lines up for another running hip attack and connects. As Solo poses, Cody pushes the door open and starts crawling towards the door, but Solo stops him in time. Solo attempts a belly-to-back suplex, but Cody lands on his feet and counters with a crossroads for another near fall. Cody staggering makes his way to the corner opposite the door and starts climbing to the top of the cage. From there, he launches himself with a crossbody off the top of the cage for another near fall. Cody signals for the door to be open and crawls towards it, but Solo slams the door and Cody's head, halting his escape, but goes for a Samoan spike, but Cody dodges it and hits a crossroads once again, this time securing the 3 count. So Solo gets no more shots at the title. It was a clean, there was nothing, nobody was helping him, so it was a clean fucking match. If I hear another fucking goddamn match that this man wants, we're gonna have issues. And I told you I was gonna get warm. So then after the match, Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and Jacob Fatu head to the ringside and begin climbing the cage. Solo strikes first with a Samoan spike to Cody. Tama follows it up with punches, while Tonga slams Cody to the mat. Fatu caps it off with an impressive double jump moonsault. Solo instructs Jacob to climb to the top of the cage for more damage. Suddenly, Roman Reigns' music hits, freezing the bloodline. Yeah, I would have done it. That would have been me. Jacob, you could have just done it, and what the hell? What was Roman going to do? He would have not been able to get there to save Cody. See, I criticized WWE. And I don't understand why wasn't the cage being lifted. Freezing the bloodline, junior members in their tracks. Fatu immediately climbs down from the cage as Roman makes his way to the ring and steps inside. Roman shuts the cage behind him and quickly takes control, landing punches on both Tama and Tonga. Tama goes for a splash, but Roman dodges, causing him to crash into his brother. Roman sends Tonga face first into the cage, but Solo attacks him from behind, landing punches on Roman. Solo sets up for a running hip attack, but Roman recovers just in time and nails Solo with a Superman punch, turning the tide of the night. Roman sets up for a spear, but Fatu pulls Solo to safety just in time. Roman, unfazed, calls out to Fatu, urging him to enter the cage. Fatu steps onto the ring steps, ready to comply, but before he can fully enter, Solo pulls him back to the floor. Tama takes advantage of the distraction and lands a forearm to Roman's back. Tonga joins in, unleashing punches, headbutts on Roman. Suddenly, Cody Rhodes comes to Roman's aid, sending Tonga crashing into the cage, hitting Crossroads on Tama. As Tama falls, Roman nails Tonga with a powerful spear, with both Tama and Tonga down. Roman turns around to lock eyes with Cody. Tensions thick in the air. Meanwhile, outside the ring, Fatu helps Solo put on his Ulafala as the scene intensifies. So we come to commercial break because it was the first, I think, half hour that they had commercial break. We come back from the commercial break after the first one because it was a half an hour commercial break free. We had Mia Yim, Nietzsche versus Piper Niven. The match starts with Minchin lock up with Piper, quickly sending her to the floor before diving through the ropes with suicide dive. Green gets Minchin's face, but Minchin responds with a kick. Breaking the referee's count, Minchin re-enters the ring and grabs a kendo stick, striking Green with it. Piper, recovering, surprised Minchin with a catapult off the apron and then rolls her back into the ring and delivers a kick to Minchin's midsection. Piper climbs the turnbuckle, setting up a Vader bomb, but Minchin stops her with a forearm. Minchin follows up with a belly-to-back suplex that hits and eats a feet for a 3 count, and Minchin picks up the win. After the match, Green attacks Minchin, grabbing a trash can and hitting the Unprettier onto it, leaving Minchin laid out. Laid out. Sorry, I couldn't get it out of my fucking mouth here today. We come back from commercial break. We return with the montage of the photos highlighting SmackDown through the years. In the crowd, we spot WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam. Vicky Guerrero comes home, and Gunther alongside Ludwig Kaiser enjoying the action. All right, I'm going to give you my take on Vicky Guerrero. I understand that excuse me is very annoying, and I get it. It's so obnoxious. But as long as she doesn't come back as an authority figure and she's a manager, I will tolerate it. And you know who would be perfect for that? I would actually put her with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Another take on Lay Cool. I know I'm going back dating myself, but it is what it is. And she even said she's back home. And she looked happy. She really didn't look happy in AEW. It was just a money grab, basically, for her. And I'm not going to get into what she's doing with her daughter and everything like that. And I don't know the whole slew of situation. And a lot of it sounds fishy to me. And I'm going to not say anything. I'm not going to put my 2 cents until everything comes out on that. We're going to move on. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Kevin Owens has not signed a deal with WWE yet. He could go to AEW. Why would he? He's my age. I don't think he needs to. But he does have 3 friends over there, which are the Bucks and Adam Cole. And I'm going to let you in on a little something. Adam Cole is actually the godfather to it's a 50 shift, one of his children. So if you didn't know, now you know that those two are really good friends. For a person to become somebody's child's godparent, you're really good friends. Kevin Owens dresses Waller and Theory, noticing their laughter. He questions what's so funny and admits while his partner wasn't his first choice, Ricky was filling in. Just then, Kevin is informed that his original partner has arrived, and without hesitation, Kevin delivers a stunner to Ricky, leaving him down for the count. I would not be surprised he gets signed to NXT just to keep him away from AEW, because you know that Triple H will do that. Kevin is informed that his real partner has arrived, prompting him to turn Ricky with a smirk. Without missing a beat, Kevin delivers his stunner to Ricky, dropping him to the mat as a parting gift. Ricky is more over than 75% of the people over in AEW. Sorry, not sorry, people. Owens starts off with a flurry of kicks, punches to Waller, trapping him in the corner with rapid kicks. Waller narrowly avoids a cannonball when Theory pulls him to the floor. As Theory tries to regroup, Randy Orton hits him with a clothesline, but Waller sends Orton crashing into the ring post. Owen, undeterred, sends Waller flying into Theory and then into the announce table. Theory tries to pull Owens off the apron, but Owens counters with a punch and sends Theory into the announce table. Waller responds with a clothesline to Owens and hits a backdrop driver onto the announce table, leaving Owens reeling. Back in the ring, Theory delivers a few punches to Owens and gets a near fall. Waller tags in, slamming Owens into the ring post before delivering knees to the midsection. Waller attempts a suplex, but Owen blocks it and counters with a suplex of his own. Theory re-enters, throwing punches at Owens and knocking Orton off the apron. The referee is distracted by Orton, allowing Waller and Theory to double-team Owens. Waller follows up with a springboard elbow drop for another near fall, and Theory kicks Owens from the apron. Theory delivers a knee to Owens, but Owens counters it with a reverse atomic drop and a clothesline. Waller tags in and stops Owens from reaching Orton, placing him on the turnbuckles and attempting a suplex. As Corey Graves noticed, you don't suplex Kevin Owens, and Owens headbutts Waller off the turnbuckles. Theory tags in trying to succeed where Waller failed by going for a suplex of his own. But Owens fights back with elbows and punches, then follows it up with a swanton bomb. As Owen tries to tag Orton, Waller yanks Orton off the apron, preventing the tags. Theory seizes the moment and landing a boot to Owens' back, keeping control of the match. Waller tags in, and he and Theory hits a double suplex on Owens for a near fall. Owens fights back with a forearm to both Waller and Theory, but Waller nails him with a jumping knee. Waller misses a sliding clothesline, and Owens takes advantage, sending him into the announce table multiple times. Owens also sends Theory to the floor, but Waller stops him just before he can make the tag to Orton. Theory tags in and tries to maintain control, but Owens lands a few punches. Theory backs Owens into the corner, allowing Waller to tag back in. Owens, however, delivers boots to both Theory and Waller, just desperate for a tag. Owens rolls to the outside and finally makes a hot tag to Orton. Orton enters the fire, delivering two clotheslines to Waller. Waller ducks the third, but Orton catches him with a power slam. Orton then delivers another power slam to Theory, setting up for the IEDDD. Orton gets ready, but Theory pulls Waller to safety on the floor. Orton responds with punches and kicks to both Waller and Theory, then backdrops Theory onto the announce table, followed by Waller. Orton sends Waller back into the ring and sets up for the IEDDT, or the draping DDT again. Owens helps by stopping Theory from interfering, and they hit stereo draping DDTs. The crowd roars as Orton and Owens punch the mat in sync. Orton nails Waller with an RKO, and Orton follows it up with a stunner on Theory and seals the victory. That was a fucking awesome situation on that. Because you'll never see Orton and Steve Austin in the same fucking ring. You'll never see Steve Austin, Orton, and Owens in the same ring. Ever. You got the stunner, you got the RKO, and then you got the Stone Cold Stunner. And I think that was pretty cool. After the match, Kevin Owens thanks Ricky sarcastically. Leave it to Kevin Owens, leave it to him. Backstage, Kathy Kelly is with Nick Aldis, who holds a contract in his hand. Nick announces that Solo Sikoa, I keep saying, I'm sorry if I say it the other way. It's not it's the way I've been saying it for years. Has made a challenge for Bad Blood, a tag team match featuring Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu against Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. He adds that Solo and Jacob have already signed the contract. Cody Rhodes shows up, declaring he's finished with the bloodline. He states that this is Roman's issue now, and he has no intention of signing the contract. Nick replies that he needs to speak to Roman about the match as Cody leaves. Nia Jax makes her way to the ring. We come back from a commercial break. We return with more photos celebrating the history of SmackDown. In the crowd, we have WWE Hall of Famers, Booker T and Queen Sharmell, and spotted along with Sheamus and another WWE Hall of Famer, Michael Hayes, enjoying the night's events. We see footage of Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Pretty Deadly at Pike Place Market. Nia Jax steps into the ring and grabs the mic. She reflects on her dominant return to WWE, reminding everyone why she's known as the irresistible force. She mentions her victories, including the winning the Queen of the Ring and becoming the women's champion. Nia confidently states that she'll defend her title at Bad Blood, but she doesn't know or care who her opponent is because they will face the same fate as the others. Bayley's music hit. Now, at least this has some sort of like somewhat of a story, and it's a little intriguing. It's a little convoluted, but it's intriguing. Somebody could be going bye-bye off SmackDown, and I think that match is tonight. So, this is going to be very intriguing. I think it should be a triple threat match. That's just me. Bayley's music hits and she heads to the ring. Bayley acknowledges Nia's success, but adds that Nia didn't set the bar very high. Bayley then confidently states that she wants a rematch. Nia dismisses Bayley's demand, saying that she isn't like last year when Bayley was chasing after Damage Control. Nia declares that she runs SmackDown. Wait till Charlotte comes back. I think that we're going to have another issue with that. And doesn't need a posse. Bayley is not backing down, calls Nia for having help from Tiffany Stratton to win the title, unlike her situation with Damage Control. Tiffany Stratton music plays, and she joins the conversation. Tiffany mocks Bayley, calling her pathetic, and says Nia is smarter than to listen to Bayley. Tiffany adds that everyone is just jealous because she has the Money in the Bank briefcase and doesn't have to beg for title matches. Well, bitch, get your fucking time. Cash it in. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? At this rate, I might have to make a second cup of coffee. So during this whole situation, we may have to break and we'll talk about other things so I can make another cup of coffee because this is going to be a long one. Bayley fires back, reminding everyone that she defeated Tiffany last week. Tiffany argues that only happened because Nia got involved. Bayley sarcastically asks Tiffany if it was Nia's fault that she lost, stirring to tension between the two. Nia steps in, acknowledging that Bayley is talented and almost had her before, but Bayley couldn't stand a chance if Nia and Tiffany beat her down right now. At that moment, Naomi's hit music and she gets to the ring. Naomi steps up to Nia and Tiffany, stating that if they want to fight, they can have one. She won't stand by and let them attack Bayley. Naomi then declares that it's been a long time that she has held the title, and now it's time to change that. She challenged Nia to prove herself. Nia, sensing an opportunity, poses that if both Naomi and Bayley want the title, they should face each other to decide the number one contender for Bad Blood. Bayley counters, suggesting a triple threat. See, me and Bayley. Love you, girl. Love you, girl. Starting to respect you more. I'm starting to get the whole Bayley situation. Nia smirks and raises the stakes, suggesting Naomi and Bayley team up against her and Tiffany. Whoever wins will face Nia at Bad Blood. But there is one condition. Whoever loses the match must leave SmackDown permanently. Both Naomi and Bayley accepted the challenge. So it makes this a reason to watch this match, because we don't know. I don't know how this whole thing is going to end up. Whoever gets the pin, if they lose, that person is going to be shipped over to maybe Monday Night Raw. I would love to fucking see Naomi go down in NXT for a little bit, do a stint down there. That's just me. Tensions explode. Tiffany attacks Naomi, but Naomi quickly counters with a rear view, sending Tiffany crashing to the mat. Kathy Kelly catches up with Nick Aldis backstage for an ambush interview. Nick reveals that Roman Reigns has requested to address the situation in the ring after the upcoming match. With that, the announcement, we head to the commercial break. And we have the best of 5. This was like something like that fucking fell in their lap, and I like it. Like that this has happened. Andrade El Idolo versus Carmelo Hayes in a 5 of the best of 5 series. Hayes wasted no time attacking Andrade from behind before the bell even rings, landing kicks to his opponents. The referee steps in, pulling Hayes off Andrade to restore order. Once the match officially starts, Hayes continues with punches and hard chops. Andrade quickly counters, sending Hayes to the floor. Andrade climbs to the top rope, aiming for a moonsault to the outside, but Hayes cuts him off with a kick and delivers a chop against the ring post. Andrade retaliates by Irish whipping Hayes into the ring barrier. Hayes tries to respond with a clothesline, but misses, allowing Andrade to land a solid kick. Andrade then hops onto the ringside barrier for a moonsault attempt, but Hayes joins him. The two exchange forearms and uppercuts in a tense back and forth. The battle intensifies as Andrade nails a spectacular Spanish fly off the ringside barrier, sending both men crashing to the floor. I always get nervous with that fucking move. As Andrade gets back into the ring, Hayes quickly hits a slingshot senton for a near fall. Hayes follows up with a wrist lock, driving his knee into Andrade's arm before transitioning into an armbar and back to a wrist lock. Andrade fights back with the forearms, and Hayes responds in kind. Andrade gains momentum with chops and an Irish whip, but he misses a splash in the corner. Hayes capitalizes with an elbow drop for another near fall, then applies a double wrist lock and a body scissors. Andrade manages to escape with a slam followed by a forearms and a flying clothesline to take control. Andrade sets up for a running double knee strike, but Hayes dodges it. Hayes counters with a springboard clothesline and attempts a DDT, but Andrade blocks it. They exchange roll-ups, each getting a near fall. Andrade goes for one arm powerbomb, but Hayes escapes and hits a code breaker. Andrade fires back with a spinning back elbow for a near fall. Andrade climbs to the top for an Andrade salt, but Hayes gets his knees up just in time. Hayes follows up with a La Maniesta for a near fall and heads to the top rope, attempting nothing but net, but he misses. Andrade quickly responds with a kick and hits a destroyer, followed by a running double knee strike in the corner. He covers Hayes, but Hayes gets his hands on the rope to break the count at the last second. Andrade attempts a split-legged moonsault from the top, but misses. Hayes tries to capitalize by placing Andrade on the turnbuckles and hitting a running kick to the head. Hayes then goes for a Frankenstein, but Andrade blocks it. Hayes lands a few kicks, but Andrade counters with a twisting butterfly DDT off the turnbuckles, securing the 3 count and the win. So Andrade wins. So this earns him a United States title match, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Andrade versus LA Knight. Take my money. It's a great match. After the match, LA Knight makes his way to the stage, grabbing the microphone. Knight says, "Let me talk to you. Congratulations, Andrade. You've earned yourself a spot in the next contestant for the United States Championship. But you've really done is buy yourself the first class ticket to getting your dropped on your head next week. While you're trying to figure out who, what, and where you are, there will be no question who still is U.S. champion. Next week, it's Andrade versus LA Knight for the U.S. title." So that's going to be on tonight. That's going to be a great match. Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton teamed up to face Bayley and Naomi in a high-stakes match. If Bayley or Naomi win, they earn a title shot at Bad Blood. But if they lose, the person who gets pinned will be forced to leave SmackDown. So I was right. Okay, so now we're cooking here. Backstage, Byron Saxton is with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Bianca expressed how excited they are their titles back, and Jade confidently adds that they have no intention of letting them go anytime soon. And Jade Cargill is complaining about the touring. You could have went to NXT and just went one day a week. But you wanted to be on Raw and SmackDown and the whole gambit. It's what you signed up for, sweet cheeks. Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton interrupted with Nia taunting them. Nia asked if they heard what's happening to Naomi, warning that if Naomi sticks her fat nose into Nia's business again, there will be consequences. Nia also reminds Jade and Bianca that she beat both of them to win the Queen of the Ring, declaring that SmackDown is her kingdom. The tensions build as Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring, preparing to address the WWE Universe. I gotta blow my nose because my allergies is kicking my ass today because my nose is stuffy and it's fucking windy because we have a coastal storm involved around here. Hold on. Nick Aldis joins Roman Reigns in the ring. As Roman Reigns continues pacing while the commercials play in picture, once back, Nick acknowledges the chaos of the night and starts to speak about their shared history when Roman holds out his hand, demanding the microphone and the contract. Roman takes the mic and states, I don't want to confuse anybody. Something's changed, but not me. He declares he doesn't need Aldis or some contract, making it clear this is family business, bloodline business. What I thought then that was going to be the case of maybe Jay coming out and, stepping up to the plate. Main event Jey Uso, or Jimmy Uso or somebody else coming up to help him. Roman emphasizes that he doesn't need a partner and he certainly doesn't need Cody Rhodes. He reminds everyone that where he has his family Olna, Fala, or not, he's still the tribal chief. Not the original tribal chief, the only tribal chief. So we now, OTC means only tribal chief. No shit. Roman adds, he proclaims that that is his ring, his show, and his WWE. At that moment, Cody Rhodes comes and makes his way down to the ring. Cody steps in and responds, this was your WWE, Roman, but it hasn't been since WrestleMania. Without hesitation, Cody tosses his mic aside and Roman does the same, signaling they're ready to fight. Suddenly, solo Sequoia music hits, but before Solo appears, Tama Tonga Tangaloa launch a surprise attack on Cody and Roman from behind. Chaos ensues as Cody encounters with a Cody Cutter on Tonga, while Roman slams Tama with a Uranagi. From the outside, Solo and Jacob Fatu watch an action unfold, not getting involved just yet. Roman then picks up the contract and that he had previously said nothing. After a brief pause, he signs it. Cody is still standing and asks for the contract. After a moment of reluctance, Roman hands it over. Cody signs it, making the match official. As tensions remain high, we cut to the credits, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that it's like still action, and then you have to get back to next week. You have to tune in to see what's going to happen. I love it. We're going to go on to Raw now. This is getting good. This is what I love. Storytelling. Mwah. Triple H is in the fucking kitchen He's got fucking goddamn Christmas dinner ready for us. That's how much in advance he's got. He's got Saturday night's main event. That's our Christmas dinner, people. Okay? I said it. Don't even have to say anything. He's got dinner. We are expecting a fucking goddamn feast, people. We're going to be eating good. Raw had CM Punk on. We had a singles match. We had Dominic Mysterio versus Damian Priest. We had Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. We had the tag team title match, Judgment Day versus New Day. Singles match, Natalya versus Zoe Starks, and another singles match, men's, which was Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. The show opened. I cannot wait till this is 2 hours. I cannot wait on a Monday fucking night. I get to go to bed at 10 o'clock. Are you serious? Love to see Terra Twins in House of Black against Judgment. Yeah, you're speaking my language, sis. I love you. I love you, sis. I love you so much. Keep doing you on Twitter. Don't let the haters hate you. I love you. The show opens up with a drone shot of the city of Portland as Joe Testori and Wade Barrett welcomes us. The Terra Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Judgment Day, Damage Control, the women's tag team title champions, Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman arriving in the arena. I like that. It gives a sense of like they're heading to work and they're there. We know that they're there. We get a shot of CM Punk arriving in the parking garage. The camera follows Punk as he enters the building, walks through the backstage arena, and makes his way down to the ring. CM Punk starts off by saying he is at the point of his career where sometimes he asked how many matches he has left in him. Punk then says when he came back to WWE, he said he didn't come back to make friends. Punk then says he didn't mean he wanted to make mortal enemies, but he did in Drew McIntyre. And the only way to end their issue is hell in a cell. Punk then says he feels naive to think things of McIntyre were over after their strap match at WWE Bash in Berlin. Punk then admits to having 0 Hell in a Cell matches in him and says his sister, wife, and angel on his shoulder told him not to compete in Hell in a Cell. Punk says he told McIntyre if he pushed him hard enough, he would become the devil. Somewhere when that was said, fucking MJF was fucking grinning from ear to ear with Adam Cole. I kid you not. And that's what we'll do at Bad Blood. Punk then promises to make McIntyre bleed and says he'll do whatever it takes to beat him. Punk then says he's prepared for his Hell in a Cell match to be the end of him and his career. And if McIntyre is prepared for it to be the end of his career as well, then we'll see him in hell. Punk then heads to the back. I don't know what Punk is doing to his body, but please, I ain't getting out of my fucking bed. Liv Morgan do nothing for... Yeah, exactly. She couldn't even get her fucking self to fucking the thing for UFC in the Sphere. And she's women's world champion. If fucking Rhea Ripley had the title, guess where she'd be? With Dominic Mysterio right next to him. But because he was with his actual wife, we can't do that. But at least they kept the kayfabe that, with his father and whatnot. So I got to give WWE half a credit with that. TKO, I'm sorry. We then head to the back where Sheamus is being interviewed by Kathy Kelly. Sheamus then says he's most upset with Pete Dunne for taking his chances to win the Intercontinental title away from him because it's the one belt that he hasn't yet to win. Sheamus then tells the fans not to call Dunne Butch because he despises it, which leads to a Butch chant. Sheamus then says Dunne will become his Butch, bitch, and then asks the fans if they're ready for a banger. The Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, then makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night, which will be facing Pete Dunne. The match starts off with both men wasting no time going after each other. Dunn then delivers a few strikes on Sheamus, but Sheamus responds with an Irish curse backbreaker and sets up for the 10 beats of the Bataram. Dunn then intercepts the first one and snaps Sheamus' fingers before Sheamus hits Dunn with a slam and nails him with a boot in the corner. Dunn then responds with an enziguri, then stomps on Sheamus' triceps and flies over the top to land on him with a strike on the outside. Dunn then steps on Sheamus and Sheamus' hand using the ring steps, and Sheamus responds with the Alabama slam on the top of the announce desk. Sheamus and Dunn then teeter on the ropes. Sheamus then looks to send Dunn crashing into the mat, but Dunn escapes and hits Sheamus with a sit-out powerbomb. Dunn then goes for a pin, but Sheamus kicks out. Dunn then hits a right hand on Sheamus and delivers several more on him. Dunn then hits a stomp on Sheamus' face, but Sheamus responds with 3 clotheslines on Dunn and follows it up with a slam. Sheamus then climbs to the top rope and hits a knee on Dunn, then goes for a pin. Dunn kicks out. Sheamus then sets up for a Celtic cross, but Dunn escapes and nails Sheamus with an enziguri. Dunn then delivers a couple of stomps on Sheamus, then climbs to the top. Sheamus then nails Dunn with an uppercut and joins him up there. But Dunn bites him. Sheamus then gets Dunn on his shoulders and hits him with a power slam off the middle rope. Sheamus then goes for a pin, but Dunn manages to kick out. Sheamus then hits Dunn with 10 beats of the Bataran, but Dunn grabs a shillelagh from ringside. Sheamus then hits Dunn with a knee and takes the shillelagh from him, then considers using it. The referee grabs the shillelagh from Sheamus before disposing of it as he is doing so. Dunn hits Sheamus with a cricket bat and grabs it from underneath the ring and follows it up with a big boot for the win. So, I would actually like to see Sheamus get the Intercontinental title and then do the job and get and bestow it to be Dunn. That would be fucking epic, and that would be actually great for WrestleMania. We head to the back where we have the Terror Twins walking around. Main event, Jey Uso runs into them and tells Damian Priest he'll be watching when he faces Dominic Mysterio later tonight. Xavier Woods then walks in and asks Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Jey Uso to stay in the back when he and Kofi Kingston challenge Judgment Day for the World Heavyweight World Tag Team Champions later tonight. And the trio agreed. Priest then says he respects and tells Woods to beat their asses and take their titles. Wade Barrett then hypes up Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio as the main event. Wow! Dominic in the main event. And that's because of fucking Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Liv, you're not doing shit. When are you going to get him an Intercontinental title match? When are you going to get him a North American title match? When are you going to get him a U.S. title match? When are you going to get him a world title match? Come on, you got to do your thing. You're women's world champion. Can you do any pull with Adam Pearce? I haven't seen this guy with a title since he's been with Rhea Ripley. Come on. What the hell's the problem? You can't handle it? Can't handle it? Or are you too much of a submissive? I mean, Rhea was able to be some sort of a submissive but still in charge. Got business done. She knows how to take care of business. You don't. You like to just sit there and do nothing. You're do-nothing Morgan. We head to the back where Braun Strowman is preparing for his match against Bronson Reed, and then Miz approaches him. Strowman shows off some bruising on his right tricep and says it isn't trying to make excuses. Miz then asks Strowman what that meant when he said Miz was no match for Bronson Reed. Strowman then says he means no disrespect and simply saying sometimes it takes a monster to beat a monster. Natalya, Zelina Vega, Lyra Valkyria make their way down to the ring for their next match. So it's going to be Natalya versus Zoe Stark. I am actually kind of shocked that Natalya is back. I'm just hopefully we definitely get that match between her and Jordynne Grace. I'm just hoping. Match starts off with Natalya rolling up Stark, but Stark kicks out Both women then lock up once again and continuing going back and forth before Starks hits a jawbreaker on Natalia off the top rope and follows it up with a drop kick. Starks then hits Natalia with another drop kick off the top rope, but Natalia responds with a German suplex and a discus lariat. Natalia then delivers some right hands on Starks in the corner, but Stark responds with a kick on Natalia's face and goes for a pin. Natalia then kicks out and goes for a pin on Stark, but Stark reverses the fall. Natalia then reverses it again, but Stark kicks out. Stark then pins Natalia once again, but Natalia rolls her up for the win, and you think that she was going to lose. I don't think so. We head to the back where we see Finn Balor approach Rhea Ripley. As she's being interviewed by Kathy Kelly. That's awkward. Kathy Kelly and Finn Balor were an item. That's awkward. That's really fucking awkward. Balor tells Ripley that he thinks she just had as bad as Damian Priest. Balor then says Ripley said that they were family, but she only cared about herself. Balor then blames Priest and Ripley for not being champion for the two men for the two of them no longer being champions. Asshole, Balor, do you really understand? He had the fucking Money in the Bank contract. You know that situation. So you're going to use that as an excuse. You're using that as an excuse to not getting your end of the bargain done. You could have told fucking Damian Priest, hey, stay away. If you want a title match, do it to me like a man and challenge me like a man afterwards. Let me get the title. You didn't open your mouth, Balor. Ripley then says she wouldn't let Balor rewrite history and lie to her face. Ripley then says they were family and she had to stop them from fighting every week. So she did so because she loved her family. Balor then tells Ripley that when Morgan was flirting with Dominic, he was the devil on Dominic's shoulder who told him to go with Morgan. Jey Uso then showed up and asked if there was a problem. Balor says it was just two friends catching up. Balor then says Jey should focus on the Intercontinental Championship because he's a little out of his league when it comes to Ripley. Ripley then says Balor might have a point after he exits the scene. Jey wonders if she meant that she was out of his league. Ripley says no, and he should focus on becoming Intercontinental Champion. Jey then puts his yeet glasses on and he heads to the ring. So he's in the ring. Jey Uso offers by saying he's now in Portland and addresses his match against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship next week. I am actually liking this whole situation that they're making big matches on the go-home show to the actual pay-per-view, because then you're not overloading the PLE and you don't have to worry about, what do we do with this one? They're going to get the spotlight. They're probably going to get the main event and everybody's happy. And it's what's more important to be on a PLE, and it's delegation. It's like, all right, you've been working on this for 2 months. You don't really get to be on the PLE. We're going to go elsewhere. I don't think Nia Jax should be on it. Not at all. She should be main eventing SmackDown. Honestly, this should be on the pay-per-view, but I don't know. This is my opinion. You take it from where it is. Uso then says he's excited and he has been looking forward to it since he arrived on Raw. Braun Breaker music hits and makes his way down to the ring. Breaker says he told Jey to stay away, but he's still pursuing the Intercontinental title in order to prove he could do it all by himself without his family's help. Breaker says there's no doubt that Jey is one of the biggest stars in WWE, but unlike Jey, he didn't need his family name to become a big star of his own. Breaker says the Intercontinental title is his family because what he fights for. He promised to expose Jay next week for being nothing without his family. Bringing up family. Does Jimmy help him and get the Intercontinental title? Does it? Jay then says he'll fight next week, but match will be shorter than Breaker's career in the NFL. Both men stare each other down, and Breaker hits a right hand on Jay's head. Breaker then runs the ropes looking to spear, but Jay intercepts with one of his own. Breaker then rolls out of the ring. Joe Testore then speaks with Wade Barrett and recalls talking with Breaker. Testore then says Breaker told him that he never taken a spear. Barrett then recaps Alba Fire and Islandor beating Io Sky and Kairi Sane for the number one contenders match women's tag team a couple of weeks back. So then we have the women's tag team champions, Bianca Belair. Jade Cargill was shown backstage when Io Sky showed up yelling. Belair says she is booked to face Kairi Sane, but if she is not 100%, then Sky could take her place. Sky then accepts Belair's challenge. We get the tag team title match, the World Tag Team title. New Day versus Judgment Day. The days. The day versus the day, the day versus the day. Have a feel Raquel will screw over Bab. Possibly. So then we're going to see, and we're going to say, if that happens, if Raquel Rodriguez screws Rhea Ripley, then we know that Liv Morgan is not a legit champion because she can't get the fucking job done herself. Rhea Ripley can get the job done, but she can't. And honestly, Raquel Rodriguez doesn't belong in that. I think she needs to, in all honesty, I think she needs to come back and start from the bottom. And I think Rhea needs to get the title, and, that's going to be the next, that'll be because Raquel could be heel and Rhea could be face. It'll be reversed as if they were in NXT. So the match starts off with Kofi Kingston and JD McDonough. Kingston hits a hurricanrana on McDonough off the ropes. Xavier Woods then tags in a double team on McDonough with Kingston, then goes for a pin, but McDonough kicks out. Woods then hits a body slam on McDonough, then tags in Kingston. Kingston then hits an assisted moonsault on McDonough, then follows it up with a double bulldog with Woods to take down Finn Balor. New Day then super kicks Judgment Day out of the ring. Kingston then sends Balor crashing into the mat. McDonough and Woods then tags in, and Woods hits McDonough with a couple of clotheslines. Woods then runs the ropes and hits a back elbow on McDonough before following up with a splash in the corner and delivering some right hands. Woods then nails Balor on the apron and hits a Russian leg sweep on McDonough. McDonough then looks to hit a sit-out powerbomb on Woods, but Woods avoids it and hits one of his own. Woods then goes for a pin, but McDonough kicks out. Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito then make their way to the ring, but LWO meets them on the ramp and begins brawling with them. McDonough then looks to take advantage and rolls up Woods, but Woods kicks out. Kingston then flies over the top to land on everyone, and Woods hits the elbow chop on McDonough off the rope. Woods then pins McDonough, but the referee is distracted by everyone on the outside. It misses the 3 count. Woods then gets in the referee's face and pins McDonough, but the referee misses the count again. McDonough then takes advantage and locks in a sleeper on Woods. Balor then climbs to the top for a coup de grace, and they retain the titles. Oh my God. Dumb, 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 and dumber. After the match, the irate Woods goes off Kingston for what just happened. We get another QR code from the Wyatt Six. We get a video package of WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio gifting UFC President Dana White a lucha mask at the UFC event because they're both basically now co-workers. They're basically now both in the same company now. We head to the back where we see Woods going off on LWO for what just happened and blames them, costing him and Kingston the tag titles. My tablet just fucking crapped out on me. So I can't do anything because I don't have my notes out. Sorry. Kingston then calms Woods down and reveals he asked LWO to have their backs. Kingston then says things are different between them without Big E. And Woods questions why. Kingston told LWO what the plan was without mentioning it to him at all. We get a video promo from Big Bronson Reed. Reed says he has opportunities taken from him because he was deemed too dangerous. He is by taking Seth Rollins, R-Truth, The Miz, and Braun Strowman out. Reed then takes issues with the Intercontinental shot opportunity going to Strowman. Reed then says he's going to finish his story with Strowman by making him a victim of the true monster in WWE. So we have this match. It's the Monster versus Monster. Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. The match starts off with Reed charging at Strowman as soon as he enters the ring, but Strowman sends Reed crashing into the roped corner, snapping the rope in the process. Strowman then looks to hit the Strowman Express on Reed, but Reed throws a fan from the crowd at Strowman. Strowman then sends Reed crashing through the barricade near the timekeeper's area before the officials appeared to separate the two men and giving them medical aid. Strowman then slides back in the ring to celebrate, but storms up the ramp and sends Reed crashing into the rope cases. Strowman then sends Reed crashing into the second one and shoves several of the security guards trying to separate them. Reed then hits a tsunami on Strowman off the rope cases and through the table, and then sends Strowman crashing through a piece of drywall. They legitimately nailed themselves all over the place. So this match ended in a no contest. No shit. Commentary recaps what happened, and there was a bunch of commotion as a number of people were checking on Reed and Strowman backstage area. Then we see Adam Pearce on the phone asking updates on Reed and Strowman, and he suddenly appears by Ludwig Kaiser. Pearce says that he has been working on a challenger for Gunther since he doesn't want to face Sami Zayn. Pearce then says Zayn has made a compelling case. Pearce and Kaiser then bicker, and Pearce tells Kaiser that Gunther should come and see him if he has any issues with his decision. Sami Zayn is in the ring. Sami starts off by saying he knows he's standing in the middle of the ring right now, and he has been thinking about standing in Calgary, Alberta, Canada with Bret Hart last week. Zayn then says last week was motivation for him, recalls hearing Hart talk about what it meant to be a true Canadian champion. Zayn then says he wants to become that, and he will be the world heavyweight champion, defending the title week in and week out. Zayn then says every time he challenged Gunther to a world title match, Gunther has declined to give him one. Zayn then says he doesn't believe Gunther when he says that he's not on his level, and neither does Gunther. And he thinks he is in Gunther's head, and he is scared. Ludwig Kaiser music then hits, and he makes his way down to the ring. Kaiser then asks Zayn what is he doing? When he questions why Zayn is asking for a world heavyweight champion, Kaiser then reiterates that Gunther isn't scared of Zayn, given that he's the most dominant person in WWE, says Gunther is trying to protect him and save him from embarrassment. Kaiser then says that WrestleMania 40 was the highlight of Zayn's career, and that's the only time that he's seen his family look up to him rather than looking down on him, and won't happen again. Zayn then questioned why Kaiser is in the ring speaking for Gunther, rather than Gunther coming to the ring himself. Gunther doesn't need Kaiser, nor does Kaiser need Gunther. Zayn then says he sees Kaiser has a desire to show the world that he is capable of. Then tells him that he's going to come to the ring. He should be able to speak for him. Gunther heads out to the ring. Gunther says he's in the ring, and he says he'll answer Zayn's challenge in a bit, then ask Kaiser if he has anything to tell him. Kaiser then tells Gunther there is something that he's been wanting to get off his chest, and nails Zayn and hits him with a variation of a DDT. Kaiser then holds Zayn in place for Gunther to look at him, then says he won't give Zayn a shot at the world title. Gunther then leaves the ring, and Kaiser looks to follow it up, but Zayn grabs his ankle and effort to stop him. Kaiser then looks to send Zayn crashing into the mat, but Zayn reverses it into a German suplex and follows it up with a hula kick and stare down Gunther. So basically, this match is basically a go. We head to the back where Damian Priest is being interviewed by Kathy Kelly. WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan then shows up and dismisses Kelly. Morgan then tells Priest he doesn't realize he has been. Morgan then says she wishes that Priest could hear the boys talk about how he's a loser. Priest then says he couldn't believe that somebody in Judgment Day actually had a set. Priest then says Rhea Ripley will tear Morgan apart, and she will needs to protect her Women's World Championship with Ripley coming for it at Bad Blood, and that he will take out her boyfriend later on in the show. Women's Tag Team Champion Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. Now this is the matches I want to see on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. Enough of this fucking bullshit. All right? We need legit wrestlers. We don't need fucking like a Maxine Dupree. She needs to start jobbing, or she needs to go back down to NXT and forge a path her way back up. The match starts off with women nailing each other with drop kicks before Belair looks to powerbomb Sky. Sky then looks to escape with a Hurricane Rana, but Belair blocks her. Belair then hits a delayed vertical suplex on Sky and looks to follow it up with a springboard moonsault, but Sky sees her coming and looks to hit an arm drag on Belair. And Belair lands on her feet. Belair then rolls up Sky. Sky then kicks out, and Belair hits Sky with a couple of shoulder tackles. Belair then follows up with a drop kick and shoulder on Sky's midsection, then delivers some right hands on her and in the corner. Sky then hits a couple of clotheslines on Belair and drop kicks her into the corner and follows it up with a Meteor Aura. Belair then hits a variation of a gutbuster on Sky, but Sky responds with a missile drop kick off the top and goes for a pin. Belair then kicks out and exchanges right hands with Sky, then sends her crashing into the corner and follows up with a spine buster. Belair then hits a springboard moonsault on Sky and goes for a pin, but Sky kicks out. Belair then gets Sky above her head, but Sky escapes and hits Belair with a Northern Light suplex. Sky then flies out of the ring with a tope suicida to land on Belair on the outside, but Belair gets Sky up in a delayed vertical suplex position and sends Sky back in the ring. Belair then climbs to the top and looks to hit her with a 450 splash, but Sky gets her knees up and climbs to the top. Belair then pulls Sky down and looks to hit her with a KOD, but Sky escapes and rolls up Belair for the win. Very good. Love my coffee. We head to the back where we see Rhea Ripley approach Damian Priest and ask him to tell her that he's going to brutalize Dominic Mysterio. Priest says he will rip Dominic apart and they will continue to tear their lame-ass Judgment Day. We get a video package on the American-made Chad Gable, Julius Creed, Brutus Creed, and Ivy Nile. Gable talks about how you can't kill him. and the American Spirit or American Made. We then see Ludwig Kaiser being interviewed by Kathy Kelly. Kaiser says he spoke to Adam Pearce and he will expose Sami Zayn to the entire world next week. Kaiser then takes issue with Zayn talking about his loyalty to Gunther and his past. Kaiser then says they should talk about Zayn's past and how Zayn and Kevin Owens are best friends who turned on each other repeatedly. So what I think, if Sami Zayn wins against Ludwig Kaiser, he gets Gunther at Bad Blood. They announced the entire lineup for next week. We have main event. Jey Uso was shown walking backstage when Mad Dragon Ilya Dragunov approaches him and congratulates him for winning the Fatal 4-Way, then wishes him good luck at his title match next week. After Jay leaves, the Judgment Day surrounded Dragunov. Balor takes issue with Dragunov showing respect to Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley and Jey Uso. Balor tells Dragunov to be smarter when he comes to choosing his friends. Can we see Balor versus Dragunov? Take my money. Dragunov then says respect Priest, Ripley, and Jay, which is more than he could say for Balor. Balor then holds off the rest of Judgment Day and says they need to go take care of Dragunov's friend, one of Dragunov's friends. So we have the main event. Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. The match starts off with Priest delivering some right hands on Dominic in the corner. Priest then sends Dominic into the opposite corner and sends him crashing into the mat and hits him with a back elbow. Dominic then drop kicks Priest's knee and then delivers some right hands on him. Priest then hits Dominic with a flapjack and delivers some stomps on his midsection. Priest then gets Dominic up on one shoulder and sends him crashing into the ring apron face first on the outside, then sends him face bouncing off the announce desk and hits him with a right hand before delivering one on Carlito and sending Dominic back in the ring. Balor then hits Priest with a kick while the referee is distracted by Dominic, and Dominic sends Priest crashing over the announce desk with a tope suicida. Dominic then hits a tornado DDT on Priest, then goes for a pin. Priest then kicks out, and Dominic hits a right hand on him and follows it up with an overhand chop. Priest then gets fired up and nails Dominic with a couple of right hands, and then delivers some kicks on Dominic's thighs and hits a back elbow him in the corner. Priest then follows it up with a flatliner, goes for the pin, but Dominic kicks out. Balor then hops up on the ring apron, opening the door for Dominic to roll up Priest. Priest then kicks out and hits a roundhouse kick on Dominic's head and follows it up with a broken arrow, goes for the pin. Liv Morgan then puts Dominic's foot on the bottom rope to break the hold, but Ripley attacks her over the announce desk. Priest then hits a right hand on Carlito off the ring steps, but Dominic is waiting with a super kick. Then when he gets back in the ring, Dominic then drop kicks Priest and into the ropes and dials up for a 619 and climbs to the top, looks for a frog splash. Priest then nails Dominic and hits a South of Heaven for the win, and obviously that was going to be the case. Rage, girl, my sister from another mister. It's going good. You're doing well. Busy as fuck lately. But you know how it is. Grinding, either on here, personal life, or my other professional life. You know? And I want you to fucking nail it when you go to Bad Blood in 2 weeks. Enjoy yourself. You deserve it. You deserve everything that good comes to you. I know how it is, and you know that you and I have a bond between one another. And girl, anything that is good coming your way, you deserve it. All right? Don't think otherwise. You're awesome. You're stunning. You're gorgeous, and I love you. You're a sister from another mister. I love you. So after the match, Judgment Day attacks Priest. Ripley hops up on the apron and grabs a hold of Dominic, but Morgan pulls her down and sends her crashing into the ring steps. Jey Uso then comes out and down to the ring, but Braun Breaker nails him with a spear on the outside. Finn Balor then climbs to the top rope, and Morgan hits Oblivion on Ripley. Balor hits a coup de grace on Priest and stands tall with the rest of the Judgment Day as the show comes to the close. So that is that. That is that. We're going to go right into AEW. AEW, I'm going to cover Rampage, I'm going to cover Collision, and I'm covering Dynamite, all from last week. Please do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video, or do a short, you will know about it. Please do me a favor. Follow me on all my social media, which is Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, X, Twitter, Cameo, all Mel's Mat Chat. Also, please follow me on my Snapchat and OnlyFans, Real Mel's Mat Chat. I know I've been slacking on those NXT reviews. I've just been super busy. I've been exhausted. I have to make sure Wednesdays, I'm going to do it Wednesday mornings, have a little spicy time in the morning. You'll see Mel's Mat Chat, but in a little spicier form. And if you've ever wanted to take a good look at these and see what they're really all about, you'll see them on there. So it's Real Mel's Mat Chat. If you want the link, get into my DMs and I'll give you the link. If you can't find it on there, it's only $5 a month, so $1.25 to see tits live. And if you want me to play with them, it's gonna give you a little tippy tip, So AEW. What can I say about AEW? Haven't I already said? I mean, really, seriously. So I just want to check Twitter because I don't know what's going on with my notifications with the certain app, and I just want to make sure, like, if there's any been breaking news and whatnot. We have a tag team title match, women's tag team title match, coming up tonight. We have them, so that is that. All right. Let's get to Rampage from last week. I've seen footage of people walking out, people doing this, people doing that. That's your prerogative. That's your prerogative all the times too. If you don't like the product, fine. But please make this more known to the fucking networks, so you can light a fire under Tony Khan's ass. Because you're not doing him any favors if you're not. Oh, beautiful. Great. I could do this all in fucking one fell swoop, and it's a fantastic situation. So we're going to do that, and we're going to get you out of here. My tablet is driving me nuts. looks. It looks like I covered from last week. I guess it's just Dynamite, and then I'm going to get you out of here. I guess there was no Rampage or Collision last week. If it or sorry, I had it in the wrong fucking place. I don't know why I did that. All right, here we go. Sorry, a little confusion here, but it is what it is. It's live, people. Rampage was coming from the Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Trios match. Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Dark Order. We haven't heard them in fucking dog's age. Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. Reynolds slapped Briscoe in the face. Briscoe fired back with some chops, backing Reynolds into the corner and tagged in Orange. Reynolds booted Orange. The Dark Order hit a triple drop kick on Orange Cassidy. Briscoe connected with a double drop kick after a tag. Briscoe blasted Silver with a redneck kung fu. Orange drilled Silver with a stun dog millionaire and then a DDT. Silver spiked Orange with something evil. Kyle and Reynolds tagged in for their respective teams. Kyle kicked Reynolds and then swept out the legs of Orange and Kyle and took turns rocking Reynolds with a roundhouse kick. Evil Uno entered the fray and drilled Kyle with a DDT. The Dark Order triple teamed Orange with a Reynolds going for the pin on Orange until Reynolds made the save. Cassidy countered with a pendulum bomb with a double Hurricane Rana. Briscoe kicked Silver through the ropes. Briscoe used a steel chair to catapult over the top rope and wiped out Dark Order on the arena floor. Orange smacked Reynolds with an orange punch. Mark Briscoe nailed Reynolds with a J drill and picked up the victory for the team. And that was that. Brick House, Camille versus Robin Renegade. I didn't fucking care about this match. I didn't care. I don't care. This women's division could be so promising, and they're fucking this up. Camille avoided a collar elbow tie-up and battered Robin with a heavy strikes in the corner. Camille booted Robin and drop-kicked her. The Brick House launched Robin with a suplex. Camille followed Robin out to the floor. Camille rammed Robin into the steel post. Robin tried to rally back, but Camille backed Robin into the corner. Camille hit Stampede Power Slam. Camille planted with Robin and pinned Robin. She calls the move the Truth, said Tony Schiavone. Cease to desist. R-Truth is going to have a problem with that. The Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong versus Beef. Roddy, let me tell you something. Diamond Mine isn't that bad, right? But you get that paycheck and you wrestle the way you want. You're still in the prime. Roderick kicked Beef's knees out. Beef slugged it out with Roddy. Beef did a cartwheel and drop kicked Roddy. Beef blasted Roddy with a hip attack. Roderick Strong planted Beef on the ring apron after the Undisputed Kingdom distracted Beef from the arena floor. Beef swung the fences and connected with a lariat to Roddy. The fans chanted, "Beef, beef, beef." He smoked Roddy right in the face, smoked Roddy in the face with that clothesline and said Daddy Magic. Beef wiped out Roddy with a butterfly suplex. Beef followed up with a running bulldog. Roddy kicked Beef in the face as Beef was climbing to the turnbuckles. Beef was looking for the Kentucky meat shower, but Roddy countered with a suplex. Outside the ring, the Undisputed Kingdom double teamed Anthony Hendry. Beef splashed Roddy with a sloppy stakes in the ropes. Beef ran outside the ring and delivered double clotheslines to Bennett and Taven. By running his attention to Bennett and Taven, Beef gave Roderick some time to recover in the ring. Roddy rocked Beef in with a rising knee strike and pinned Beef. After the match, Roddy looked in the corner and taunted the FTW champion Hook. Saraya and Harley Cameron versus Marty Bell and Allison Kay. Man, those two. Allison Kay was in WWE doing the Mae Young Classic, and look where she is now. NXT doesn't seem so bad right now, right? Saraya grabbed a handful of Marty's hair and stomped on Marty in the corner. Cameron tagged in and hit Marty with an axe kick. Harley followed up with a dropped hold. Alice Kay tagged in, but Outcast swarmed her. Cameron cracked Kay with a knee strike. Saraya grabbed a blind tag, wanting the win, and Kay hit with a nightcap. Saraya pinned Allison. After the match, Jamie Hayter stormed down the ring. Saraya retreated. Harley didn't realize Saraya left, and Jamie decked Harley Cameron. Main event time on Rampage. The Alpha Konosuke Takeshita versus Action Andrade from Top Flight. Action used a flurry of Anfetsu to disorient Takeshita. Andrade went for too far, though, perhaps getting overzealous, and Takeshita whipped Action into the ring steps. Takeshita smoked Action with a few chops in the corner. Takeshita suplexed Andrade. Takeshita booted Action in the mouth. Andrade checked to see if he had loosened his tooth. Andrade intercepted a knee strike. Andrade connected with a right fist and a leaping back elbow. Andrade took flight, diving over the rope and wiping out Takeshita on the arena floor. Takeshita regained momentum after the German suplex. Takeshita avoided standing shooting star press from Andrade. Takeshita absorbed a drop kick. Takeshita blasted Action with a blue thunderbomb for a near fall, and that kick out from Andrade seems to only infuriated Takeshita, said Excalibur. Action hit a tope Hurricane Rana, followed up with a springboard. Takeshita cracked him with the right fist and then a knee strike. Takeshita finished off Andrade with a raging fire, scoring a big win via pinfall. I'm hoping that Rampage is done. I really, really hope. Next, we're going to go to Collision. collision was coming from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Oh my Lord. Oh my God, these names of these arenas are killing me lately. We have a TNT championship with Jack Perry versus the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. I thought he was like some sort of GM. Okay. Daniels blistered Perry's chest with chops in the corner. Perry answered with a back elbow. Perry hit a lariat and grounded and pounded Daniels. Look how aggressive Jack Perry is, said Nigel. Perry took down the Fallen Angel with a snap suplex. Perry nailed Daniels with a neck breaker for a 2 count. Perry blasted Daniels with a missile dropkick. Daniels was busted open, blood trickling down his forehead. Daniels jabbed at Perry's jaw and swept out Perry's leg. CD followed up with a vertical suplex. Perry is stunned, said Nigel. Daniels planted Perry with a Death Valley driver for a near fall. Perry quickly regained momentum, smacking Daniels in the head with a charging knee strike to score the pinfall victory. Another win for the scapegoat as we open up Collision on Saturday night, said Tony Schiavone. Lexi Nair tried to interview Wheeler Yuta backstage. Wheeler, Bryan Danielson, out of respect for him and Brie and the kids. I don't want to share much, but he's doing the best he can. I don't have much of an update. I haven't really talked to him to talk to any of the other guys. I have a match tonight against Anthony Henry, and he's not taking him lightly. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about a lot of things. Hologram. Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Beast Montrose and the premier athletes Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. Briscoe slid under Daivari's legs, fired up some redneck kung fu. Kyle grabbed a blind tag and booted Daivari in the head. The Beast Montrose grabbed a tag and rocked Kyle with a strike. Kyle tagged out to Hologram. The Beast knocked Hologram out of the air with shoulder tackles as Hologram took flight from the top rope. Kyle came back in. Arya tipped Kyle from the arena floor. Josh Woods jumped over the top rope and connected with a crossbody press on Kyle O'Reilly and dire straights as he isolated the competitors in the corner. They worked over him. Briscoe got a hot tag at Clean House on the opposition. Briscoe went for a J driller, but the Beast Montrose interfered and cracked chicken with a headbutt. Hologram tagged in, hit Nese with a code red, but Daivari broke up the pin attempt. Hologram rocketed out of the ring with a tope to Nese. The Beast Montrose followed up with a tornado to Hologram. Briscoe was about to catapult off the chair until Smart Mark Sterling jumped into the ring to stop him. Briscoe chopped Sterling to the ground, ran to and catapulted off Sterling and wiped his opponents outside the ring. Hologram spiked Nese with a spinning tornado DDT and hooked him and pinned him. Yep, that's how I'm not a video game girl. I'm not at all. I haven't played video games since I'm 11 years old. I do know of them. I'm not stupid or anything, but I just can't get into it. And you're killing it. You're killing it, and I love your what comes out of your mouth. And I try to get in as much as I can. It's just my fucking life gets in the way, you know? I love you so much, girl. If I could ever give you a hug and tell you everything's going to be okay, and it is, I will do it with a heartbeat. I love you so much. I love you. And you are the people that make it worthwhile of doing what I'm doing. You're amazing. My heart goes, you're family now. You're family in my eyes, all right? Renee Paquette was backstage with Orange Cassidy, the Redwood Big Bill, and the Bad Apple Brian Keith ambushed Orange. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho cracked the framed photo of Orange friends over Orange's head while Renee called for help. Lexi Nair interviewed the AEW Women's World Champion, the Glamour, Mariah May, about her championship celebration, which she still hasn't had. Who the fuck cares at this point? Honestly. Seriously, if you're going to keep this going, I don't care. Mariah May, I have the best times with Mira Shirakawa. But somewhere along the line, bad things just happen. I need you here. I can't celebrate this without you. I want Mina. Yuka Sakazaki interrupted and challenged Mariah May for the belt. Mariah May told Yuka to get in line. 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Champion Wheeler Yuta versus the workhorseman Anthony Henry. They chain wrestle at the start of the match. Yuta seems to step behind, perhaps thinking more about what happened to Bryan Danielson. Henry connected with a sliding drop kick through the ropes. Henry suplexed Yuta into the barricade. Back in the ring, Yuta walloped Henry with a jawbreaker. Yuta charged at Henry, but Henry countered with an air raid crash for a near fall. Yuta used a comeback or line lariat with a German suplex to take down Henry. Henry scored a big knee strike. Henry climbed to the top turnbuckle and smashed Yuta with a double stomp for a near fall. Anthony Henry, for a second time, almost pulled out a win, said Shivani. Wheeler is just not in the right frame of mind, replied Nigel. Henry taunted Wheeler by mocking Bryan Danielson. Yuta snapped out of the funk and went ballistic on Anthony Henry. Wheeler Yuta is awake, said Tony Schiavone. Yuta knocked down Beef with a pump kick. Yuta nuked Henry with a missile drop kick from the top rope. Yuta rocked Henry with a hammer and anvil strikes. Yuta applied the cattle mutilation, and Yuta won the match via ref stoppage. Great. I am so sipping on my coffee because I don't want to make another cup because I got to eat dinner after this. Lexi Nair backstage with Serena Deeb and Queen Amada. If I say the name wrong, oh fucking well, this is the way I'm reading it. Deeb, Queen, first of all, thank you for your time. It was kind of you to just be here. I watched a match with Mariah and I thought you did great. You have a lot of potential, but I did tell you 2 weeks ago that you're not ready. My offer still stands, but if you want to have a conversation, you know where my locker room is. Queen Amada, I'm sorry I don't have time for this. I have a match tonight. Deeb, let me show you how it's done. That I could I'm definitely happy about. That, hopefully that Serena Deeb is going to have a place and she's not going to be used in this situation. Trios match, Commander with Private Party versus John Cruz, Lord Cruz Crew, and Red Jones. Blinked and this was over. Okay? Private Party used tandem offense on Cruz. Commander walked the top rope and splashed Cruz. Private Party rocked Red Jones with a gin and juice and pinned him for a decisive victory. Big deal. Honestly, this was a blink and you were over. And then you wonder why people are walking out on your shows here, TK. And please, if you're going to say that I'm on Triple H's payroll, he can't afford me. The Bang Bang Gang, Juice Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and the Guns versus the Machine, Brian Cage, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. Juice tried for an arm drag on Toa, but Toa held his ground. Juice dodged a headbutt. Colton tagged in as Bishop Khan, as did Bishop Khan. Then Austin clubbed Khan with a double forearm drop. Austin hit flipping neckbreaker. Khan leveled Austin with a lariat. Cage muscled Austin into the ring with a vertical suplex, lifting Austin from the ring apron over the top rope and planting him hard back in the ring. Khan tagged in and whipped Austin into the corner turnbuckles. Colton tagged in and dropkicked Toa. Colton cleaned house on the rest of the Cage of Agony. Colton clubbed Leona on the top of the head and covered him for a 2 count. Toa sent Colton into the rest of the week. Toa sent Colton into next week with a pounce. The Gates tossed Colton and Cage power bombed. Colton Juice tagged in and Juice was on the loose. Juice hit a crossbody on Cage. Juice grabbed Cage and then slugged him with a left hook. Cage fired back with a discus lariat. Cage powerbombed Austin and hitting Colton with a flatliner. Things turned around after the Guns blasted Cage with a 310 to Yuma. Juice planted Cage and pinned him for the 3 count. Hard victory. Hard fought and certainly hard earned, said Nigel. I just freaking realized, because I was on Netflix the other day, there's actually a fucking movie, 310 to Yuma. I was drinking a cup of coffee, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going through my Netflix and shit, and the fucking movie bypassed. I'm like, you fucking gotta be kidding me. There's actually a movie called 310 to Yuma. My mind was blown at this point. I just started laughing. I said, son of a bitch, everything goes back to wrestling. I can't go without a day having a non-wrestling event, a reference to wrestling going through my life, honestly. Yuka Sakazaki versus the Professor Serena Deeb. Before the match began, AEW Women's World Champion, the Glamour Mariah May, joined the broadcast booth. Deeb dropkicked Yuka, but Yuka came back with a knee strike and kicked the Professor, nailed Yuta with a draping reverse neckbreaker through the ropes. Yuka walloped Deeb with a brainbuster. Deeb drilled Yuka with a released German suplex. Yuka rallied back with a sliding lariat. Deeb planted Yuka with a power bomb. Both ladies collided with lariats, both having the same idea. Deeb charged at Yuka with a clothesline. Yuka picked up Deeb and spiked her on the mat. Yuka went for a Magic Girl splash and landed on it. Yuka covered Deeb and won by pinfall. Yuka Sakazaki is now on a 9-match winning streak, said Shivani. But we're not counting fucking matches anymore. Why is this fucking prevalent now? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And honestly, Mariah May is fucking failing. Every time they put a title on somebody like her, it fails. I didn't like the fucking gimmick, but fucking Tony Storm was getting it over. Mariah May blindsided Yuka after the match. Mariah tried to put Yuka in Storm Zero, but Yuka escaped and rocketed Mariah with a thrust kick. Yuka hoisted up the AEW Women's World Championship before throwing it back onto Mariah. Do I give a fuck? Honestly, I can't fucking sink my teeth into anything that has to do with a women's division in AEW or WWE. The only thing that is actually worth me fucking seeing is the fucking Roxanne Perez match versus Julia in NXT when it goes to the CW. That is it. That is all I'm excited for. That is sad. And of course, the whole thing with Liv Morgan and Rhea, that goes without saying. That's on another different situation. Queen Amata versus Robin Renegade. Another match I couldn't give 2 shits about. Amata applied the crossface, but Robin escaped. Queen Amata used a judo throw for a near fall. Robin rocked Queen Amata with a beautiful drop kick. Robin annihilated Amata with a DDT right on top of the skull. I don't want to hear about CTE. CTE, they don't give a flying fuck. Queen Amata used a swinging neck breaker to stagger Robin. Queen Amata headbutted Robin, picking up the pinfall victory after the brain drain. After the match, Serena Deeb ambushed Queen Amata. Deeb put Amata in a single leg grab after the ref ran down to prior off Queen Amata. Oh man, can you say NXT Black and Gold, baby? I'm telling you, FTR, the Revival versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This what Triple H probably was looking at this and saying, son of a bitch, I could have had these two in WWE, making masterpieces. But they're on Collision on a Saturday night in the main event. Wow! Dax lit up Drake with a drop kick, chops to the chest. Cash tagged in and connected with a shoulder tackle. Wheeler took down Drake with an arm drag and then tagged out. Gibson blasted Dax with a European uppercut, and the Grizzled Young Veterans used tandem offense on Dax. Hardwood costed up Drake on the top turnbuckle, then brought him down hard with a suplex. Wow, what a crash that was, said Shivani. Drake took down Dax with a spin heel kick. Dax hit a desperation move on Gibson. Trying to crawl to make the tag, Dax made the tag, but the ref didn't see it because the Grizzled Young Veterans had the ref distracted. Finally, Dax ducked a leg lariat and reached Cash. Cash came in and cleaned house on the Grizzled Young Veterans. Cash power slam Gibson. Cash went for a power slam on Drake, but Drake countered with a small package for a near fall. Cash cracked Gibson with a short arm lariat. FTR went for a spike pile driver, but Drake knocked Cash off the top turnbuckle. Gibson rocked Dax with a key lock driver. FTR regained the momentum. Dax was able to put the sharpshooter on Drake, and Drake tapped out. After the match, the Grizzled Young Veterans assaulted FTR. The Outrunners, Truth Magnum, and Turbo Floyd spit to the ring, coming to the aid of FTR. The Outrunners and FTR shook hands and posed after the match. So for a decorated fucking tag team, they're fucking goddamn cowering to fucking upcomers. Unless you're going to put them over or do something with them, I don't give a flying fuck. Dynamite. Dynamite was coming from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I'm getting really tired of fucking Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has stayed a little too long in the fair. A little too long in the fair. Chris Jericho. Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe. All 6 men brawled at the start of the match despite being a one-on-one match. Orange and Jericho wrestled in the ring until Cassidy took flight and took out Keith and Bill on the arena floor. Mark Briscoe followed up with a dive onto the pile. Chris Jericho teased a tope, but Cassidy clobbered Jericho with an orange punch for a near fall. Orange Cassidy flew out of the ring with a tope suicida. The learning tree, Chris Jericho chopped Cassidy's chest. Orange used the ropes and propelled himself back in the ring with a splash on Jericho. Jericho countered with a diving Hurricane Rana with the walls. Jericho followed up with a running power slam. Jericho charged at Cassidy with shoulder block, propelling Orange out of the ring and on into the barricade. Jericho nailed Orange with a lion salt, but Orange kicked out at the count of 2. Orange staggered Jericho into the Stundog Millionaire and then a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Jericho countered with an elbow drop by lifting his knees onto Orange's ribs. Orange tried to rally back with a DDT on the floor, but Jericho countered with a catapult, sending Orange into the guardrail. Jericho backdropped Orange through the timekeeper's table. Jericho and Cassidy exchanged strikes inside the ring. Both men collapsed. They fired forearms from their knees. Orange connected with a thrust kick. Jericho took Cassidy off his feet with a clothesline. Jericho countered with a DDT with the walls on Cassidy. Orange Army crawled to the bottom rope, but Big Bill blasted Orange in the face with a big boot. Jericho covered Orange, but Orange kicked out at the count of 2. Ran down, teeing up the odds for Orange. Orange rolled up Jericho with a small package for near fall. Jericho planted Orange with a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. Cassidy drilled Chris with a desperation DDT and then spiked Chris with his second DDT. Cassidy connected with a diving DDT from the top rope, but Jericho kicked out. Cassidy sized up Jericho for an orange punch, but Jericho countered with a code breaker for a near fall. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Orange ducked the Judas effect, Orange ducked the Judas effect, attempted and countered with the beach break, but Jericho raised his shoulders before the 3 count. Brian Keith ran down, but Briscoe chased after him. As ref Arby Edwards was distracted by Brian Keith, Briscoe brawling on the apron, Jericho pulled out a roll of quarters. Orange kicked Jericho, knocking the quarters out of Jericho's hand. Orange caught the roll of quarters and smacked Jericho with a loaded orange punch, scoring the victory. Oh, Jericho and fucking Orange. Kill me now. Seriously. Footage aired with the AEW World Trios champion Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. Pac said Wheeler Yuta had to show up next week to wrestle. Claudio said that he thought he taught Wheeler Yuta better. "Do us one favor, show up next week. Help us defend the championship," said Claudio. Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir walked up to the camera. Moxley said Yuta had a responsibility to the greater good. "What kind of man did we teach you to be?" wondered Moxley. The greater good. Spending a little bit too much time with fucking Seth Rollins here, pal. Yuta. Obviously, I'm conflicted. Alex Marvez was backstage hoping to get a word with Wheeler Yuta. Obviously, I'm pretty conflicted on recent events, but I've worked my whole career to be champion. My head has been all over the place. If there's one thing I've learned from Bryan Danielson is that you don't change who you are just because people around you are changing. Yuta said he'd show up next week to help defend the AEW World Trios Championship with Claudio and Pac. FTW Champion Hook versus GD Inc. And this is why I complain. Roderick Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom joined the commentary booth. Hook clobbered Inc. with a lariat and then suplexed. Hook smashed JD with a dangerous crossface. Hook locked in the Red Room, and JD immediately tapped out. "Maybe he'll give me some attention now," said Roderick Strong. Roderick was surrounded by Matt Taven and Mike Bannon, along with AEW security protecting him from Hook ahead of their match next week. So we are now official. This FTW championship is now an official title for AEW. We have way too many championships. All right? Alex Marvez interviewed Private Party backstage. Private Party dare Claudio, Pac, and Yuta put their belts on the line next week at Grand Slam. Renee Paquette interviewed the Patriarch backstage. Christian Cage. "I like to take a moment to talk about my prodigy, Nick Wayne, who has a match this Friday on Rampage. I've decided he and I will hold championships at the same time. That won't that that won't make it nice in Moxley's household. He doesn't have the open contract that I have. Kip Sabian approached Christian Cage and tried to say that there were no hard feelings. Christian Cage gave Kip a stern warning not to come near them again. But also, we're forgetting that fucking Darby Allin still owed a AEW World Heavyweight title match. Or am I thinking too much? Christian Cage is not the only one that has a world title opportunity. Darby Allin does. He won it, and he deserves to get it. AEW World Champion, the Glamour, Mariah May, and the Professor Serena Deeb. When are these two fucking teaming up? Versus Queen Amana and Yuka Sakazaki. Oh, fucking ghoul. Seriously. This is where the best wrestle, right? I just want to make sure that I'm getting it. I'm fitting the narrative. Deeb and Yuka traded flurry of offense, but it was a stalemate in the early goings. Queen Amana grabbed the tag and dropkicked Deeb, but Mariah May was too busy kissing her championship belt. Deeb caught Queen Amana with a dragon screw through the ropes. Deeb didn't get much help from Mariah throughout the match. Yuka took down Mariah with a Hurricane Rana and a rising knee strike. Yuka nailed Deeb with a Northern Lights bomb. Yuka suplexed Mariah and Deeb, covering Deeb for a near fall. Yuka sent Deeb for a ride with a merry-go-round. Yuka wiped out the competition with a springboard splash. Yuka followed up with a magical girl splash onto Deeb, but Mariah blindsided Yuka, cracking her on the side of the head with the belt. The ref disqualified Mariah and Deeb. Mariah whipped Yuka with a championship belt and kissed her on the cheek. I don't know anymore. Amina Shirakawa. If I'm fucking her name up, I'm sorry. Video package aired. Mina, Mariah, you said you wanted me. We had so many good times together, and we can even have more. My heart went Mariah. In my heart, I want Mariah. Do you really want Mina? Does AEW really want Mina? Get ready, because Mina is coming. A video package aired next week between former Ring of Honor World Champion Nigel McGuinness and AEW World Champion, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, contingent on if Bryan medically is clear. Up next, Jon Moxley, who was joined by Marina Shafir and Claudio Castagnoli, approached in the ring. Holy shit, I just realized. Marina Shafir is more over than her husband. Roderick Strong, fucking Undisputed Era, is taking a backseat to his wife. Meanwhile, Roderick Strong has been in the business longer than his wife. How is that fucking adding up? The math ain't mathing. I don't know anymore. Private Party ambushed Moxley and Claudio. It didn't work out, though, as the BCC got the upper hand. Marina stomped on Zay after Moxley threw him into the steel ring steps. Commander appeared out of nowhere and dropkicked Claudio. Commander took flight, but Claudio wiped him out with a European uppercut. Marina took Alex Abrahantes down with a judo throw. Moxley pulled a toolbox out beneath the ring. Claudio and Marina held down Zay. Moxley broke Zay's hand with a hammer. Why is this necessary? Darby Allin got into the ring and Moxley faced off face off ahead of their match next week. Marina held back Claudio. Darby swung the skateboard at Moxley, but Moxley dodged it and jumped out of the ring. Darby, John Moxley, when are you going to realize I'm not the same guy you met 5 years ago? I'm going to run through you and Grand Slam, and then I'm walking into Wrestle Dream, where I will become the next AEW World Champion. I am going to give you my thoughts of what the hell is going to go on with Will Ospreay and Ricochet. In fact, they'll do it now. I don't understand this. We could have had a fucking great goddamn build to maybe Wrestle Dream, but TK needs to pop a fucking wood in his pants, freaking like Vince McMahon, because he needs to see this. He can't fucking wait. Ricochet versus Beast Montrose. But he's on TV, right? You don't care if he's in anything meaningful. As long as he's on TV, right? Ricochet went right after Beast Montrose coming out of the gates hot. The Beast hoisted up Ricochet and threw Ricochet into the corner. Montrose charged at Ricochet, but Ricochet dodged it. Ricochet followed up with a tope suicida to Montrose. Ricochet grabbed a near fall on Montrose after running shooting star press. Montrose and Ricochet went move for move, and the fans were giving it a standing ovation. Yeah, that's going to put butt in seats. Montrose caught Ricochet as Ricochet flipped over the rope to the outside. Montrose powerbombed Ricochet into the ring apron. Montrose rocketed Ricochet with a Samoan drop for a near fall. Montrose cracked Ricochet with a headbutt. Ricochet used Montrose's momentum against him, sending Montrose out of the ring. Ricochet wrecked Montrose with a code red on the arena floor, countering a powerbomb. Ricochet hit a 450 splash, but somehow Montrose kicked out at the count of 2. Montrose walloped Ricochet with a press slam from the top rope. That was wild right there, said Taz. Fans chanted AEW, AEW. Ricochet blasted Montrose with a crucifix bomb. Ricochet finished off Montrose with a vertigo and pinned him. Ricochet earned every bit of that victory as Beast Montrose came to fight tonight, said Excalibur. Ricochet showed why he's a special athlete, said Taz. Tony Schiavone was in the ring to interview Hangman Adam Page. Hangman, I've watched and I've listened for a while because I knew this day like this would come, said when Swerve Strickland was dealt with and he would be gone. And I knew that it would be just Swerve who had to pay. There are people who protect him from me and people who supported Swerve. And apparently I'm surrounded by them now. People who would cheer Swerve all the way to the AEW World Championship. People who would cheer Swerve when he was finally locked in a cage with his fate. And when I hear those voices, I'm reminded of the 4 months I sat home suspended. And I'm reminded I seem to hear another voice loud and clear above them, a voice coming clear from the commentary desk. Now listen, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff, I'm not here. Jeff Jarrett is not here with me, but you are. Jeff. Jarrett stormed the ring. Hangman clubbed Jarrett as Jarrett tried to enter the ring. Hangman whipped Jarrett into the barricade. Hangman went for a buckshot lariat, but the security jumped into the ring to separate the two men. Jarrett, Hangman Page. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit back there and let you put one finger on Tony Schiavone. As a matter of fact, there's an entire dressing room in the back that wants to beat the hell out of you. And the last outlaw is in front of the line. Hangman, I'm going to make a promise to you. If it's the last thing I do in my career, somehow, somewhere, someplace, the last outlaw is going to kick your ass. I think maybe at Wrestle Dream, possibly Jeff Jarrett puts his career up and Hangman beats him for it. See, I'm supporting AEW. I'm making ideas. I'm getting into it. I know because I really want this company to go away. Yeah. Renee Paquette tried to interview Ricochet backstage, but Will Ospreay interrupted. Ospreay offered his hand to Ricochet. Ricochet said, "You told me to get my wins up and come and see you. Let me show you how it is from my perspective. From the moment I stepped foot in AEW, everyone has been calling me out to prove they're better than me. It seems everyone is more worried about you than they are about me. No one has been calling you out. So let me do the honors in 2 weeks. I hope you're not too busy. I took your advice. I talked to Tony. And on October 2nd, it's going to be Ricochet versus Will Ospreay for the International Championship. And I'll be seeing you real soon, little bro." Dynamite main event. Trios match. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, Nicholas and Matt Jackson, and Kazuchika Okada is the Continental Champion, versus the International Champion, the Aerial Assassin, Will Ospreay, and the Don Callis family, the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, and the Pro Star, Kyle Fletcher. I am sorry. I think this is a little bit of a conflict of interest because Don Callis with the Young Bucks. Anywho, Nicholas hammered at Fletcher with clubbing blows. Fletcher used his size advantage to hit a shoulder tackle. Ospreay tagged in and used a tandem offense on Nicholas. Okada grabbed a tag. Ospreay and Okada had a stare down. Ospreay took down Okada with a Hurricane Rana. Takeshita tagged himself in. Okada shoved Will into Takeshita. The Elite posed outside the ring, but Ospreay and Callis family hit sliding drop kicks and then topes onto the Elite. Fletcher tagged in Matthew Jackson, blindsided him. Fletcher broke through and a double clothesline on the Bucks. Fletcher cracked the Bucks with a running kick in the corner. Fletcher spiked Nicholas with a brainbuster for a near fall. Okada came in steaming into the ring. Okada battered Fletcher with 3 consecutive uppercuts and followed it up with a Michinoku driver. Takeshita tagged in and nailed Okada with a Takeshita line. Takeshita nailed Okada with a brainbuster and then a senton off the middle rope. Takeshita planted Okada with a Blue Thunder Bomb, and then Okada got in and cleaned with a triple drop kick. Okada fired back with a shotgun drop kick. Fans chanted AEW, AEW. Okada rocked Takeshita with a nasty neck breaker. The Bucks double teamed Takeshita with a risky business, followed up with a elbow drop on Takeshita. Bucks went for EVP trigger, but Takeshita avoided it. Takeshita hit both Bucks with a stereo German suplexes. Will Ospreay tagged in using standing sky twister press on Matthew. Will ducked a Rainmaker clothesline, but ate 2 super kicks from the Bucks. Fletcher jumped to break up the pin attempt on Ospreay. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Bucks pumped up their sneakers. Will blocked super kicks, but the odds were against him. They broke Ospreay down. Fletcher and Ospreay used combination on Matthew, but Okada jumped in to break it up. Okada planted by Takeshita, Blue Thunder Bomb. Nicholas smashed Fletcher with a face buster. The Buck tried for a TK driver, but Kyle escaped and nailed Matthew with a twisting tombstone pile driver. But Nicholas broke up the pin attempt. Fletcher and Ospreay used the cojones on Matthew and Nick. Matthew and Fletcher picked up the pinfall victory, as they should. So that is that. So Collision is coming from the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. And this Wednesday, the Dynamite Grand Slam will be coming from the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York, New York. And that is that. Almost 3 hours on here. 3 fucking hours. This is hard work, people. It's not easy. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video, or do a short, you will know about it. Please follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, X, Cameo, all Mel'S Mat Chat. If you want to get a little spicier, follow me on my Snapchat and OnlyFans, Real Mel'S Mat Chat. If you want to donate to the podcast and write a message, donate on my PayPal. There should be something in my post on here. Scan it, donate it, write a message. I will read it on my shows. Please do me a favor. Also, go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Go to Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com and go check out House of Glory at House of Glory, HOGwrestling.net. Please join me next week for episode 358 of the podcast. I will be here at 2 p.m. Wednesday, I'm going to get Wednesday mornings. It's a lot easier for me for Wednesday mornings than Tuesday nights. So you're going to get a little spicy time with Mel's Mat Chat on my OnlyFans. I will be doing the NXT review and whatnot. So go check me out there. We'll get a little naughty over there and whatnot. But please, it's only $5 a month. So have a great rest of your weekend. And we're off to the races on Bad Blood. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. I love you all, and enjoy yourself. Check you later. Bye.